another thing I'm worried about is that I'm a woman in this country, and I can see all these men coming into this country. 99% of them are young men. This is worrying to me as a woman.
But social care needs immigration in order to function. The NHS needs immigration, legal immigration in order to function.
You're telling me that these men are going to come to help look after the elderly. Is that what you're telling me, Bobby? Please.
I didn't say specifically.
This just shows how detached the Liberal men on the panel are from the public. And it's great to hear women voice their concern and anger regarding illegal immigration. This female caller, whom I am assuming is black because of her accent, is absolutely outraged by the idea we are taking in so many migrant men. She said she doesn't feel safe anymore as a woman because of all these men coming here illegally we know nothing about. The two men on the panel try to play her concerns down, and she doesn't half let rip. The only female on the panel backs her up. The host suggests to her, we need all these illegal immigrant men because we need care workers. She makes an absolute fool of him for daring to suggest these men coming here illegally on boats are going into care jobs. It was great to hear her say she thinks the safeguarding of the British people comes before any international obligations to take people in. The reason I mentioned the caller's ethnicity is because the Liberal left wants to claim anyone who is against illegal immigration is a racist. I know women of multiple ethnic minority backgrounds who have been harassed or attacked by male asylum seekers, and others who are too scared to walk outside after dark in their own town. If they dare voice concern about this, it's the Liberal left who will point out that they themselves are a product of immigration, so they can't now complain about immigration. That is how racist the Liberal left is. They will turn on anyone who dares to question their liberal religion. Minorities only have special protected status if they follow the Liberal narrative. This woman was brilliant. She's not accepting of any of the reasons put to her why these men should be allowed here. If she was white, she'd be dismissed as a fascist and a racist. But according to the Liberal religion, only white people can be racist. But ironically, instead, they'll frame it as an immigrant hating other immigrants. That's what they'll say to silence her. This woman was brilliant and should be in Parliament. Take a watch.
But let's hear from Sharon, who's got in touch from Staffordshire. Sharon, good morning. Do you agree with Lowry that Labour have failed, that they haven't done enough to stop the flow of people taking that really dangerous journey across the Channel to come here?
Good morning. Yes, I agree with Larry 1,000%. This country is absolutely failing the British people. Now, they've taken in all these men, I should say, into this country. And I heard this morning it costs 41,000 just to look after one of them in this country. Yet they took away the fueling allowance from the elderly. The disabled, the people on benefit are going to suffer. Yet these people can come into our country and get everything that they want. And another thing I'm worried about is that I'm a woman in this country, and I can see all these men coming into this country. 99% of them are young men. This is worrying to me as a woman born in this country.
Okay.
It's quite worrying to me.
Bobby, what do you say to someone like Sharon who's looking at that and feels worried? What would you say to her?
Yeah, obviously, like Sharon, in your individual circumstances, obviously, I don't want you to feel unsafe, but Britain still does, as a rich Western country, we still have a role to play in this world to make sure that when there are people in genuine need of escaping their country for various reasons, persecution, global warming, flooding, etc., that we do provide a safe haven. So I think
Bobby,
Sharon.
Hang on, can I back up Sharon here?
Bobby.
Sharon, I know what Sharon's talking about, and women will know what she's talking about. The area of London that I come from is now the high street is lined with cafes with groups of men sitting outside smoking. And as a woman, I now have to run the gauntlet of that.
The Home Office has said that they've returned just over 16,400. What they're saying, immigrant offenders and foreign criminals. They have been repatriated. Sharon, does that make a difference? Does that show that Labour are trying to do something about the problem?
No, it does not make a difference. We don't know what these men have done in their own country. They could have murdered people. They could have raped women.
No, but this is people being returned. This is people being returned from the UK, being taken out of the UK and returned to other countries. Does that count?
Well, there's not enough of them going then. There's not enough of them going.
That's not enough. That's a record number
Not
since
enough.
2018.
Well, that is a poor number, I'm sorry to say. Very poor number then, if I have to say.
And Sharon, what about Bobby's point earlier where he was saying, look, you're making the point, Bobby, that the number of people coming here on the boats, the Channel crossings, is minuscule in comparison to the number of legal immigration that we have. Does that worry you, Sharon?
To be honest, I don't really care. They should not be coming to our country. We've got our own people to look after.
But who's looking after those old people?
Sorry?
Who's looking after those old people?
Well, they're looking after themselves, or their family have to look after them.
But social care needs immigration in order to function. The NHS needs immigration, legal immigration in order to function.
To help. You're telling me that these men are going to come to help look after the elderly. Is that what you're telling me, Bobby? Please.
I didn't say the specific men, but
I'm Alexis. He's Bobby.
It's a good point, Sharon.
It's so funny, Bobby. Please do not.
No, that's Bobby.
Can I say, we've set up our NHS and our social care system so that it is reliant on foreign labour.
Yeah.
That needs to be addressed. So pay needs to be improved, training needs to be available.
So do you think if we paid more, you'd get more British people wanting to go into social care and the NHS?
Yes.
OK. Sharon, thank you for kicking us off. Let's speak to Gary in Aberdeenshire. Gary, welcome to the show. What would you like to say?
Hi, good morning. Good morning, folks. Basically, every government has been failing to stop the migrants coming across, I feel, because the boats keep coming across, but yet the governments seem to be very slow to react. And I would say that most governments over the last 10 years has failed. To be fair, if the Britain's paid, $400 million for that detention camp that was supposed to be built at Dunkirk, but yet it hasn't been built because France has said planning issues. Where's the money gone then? So why can't the British government not send the Navy into English Channel and return the boats to France? Because the French authorities seem to be happy to push them over the borderline into our waters and send them to Britain easy enough.
Well, I think there are international laws that prevent you from doing that. Also, that there is the safety of the people on board.